This is my fourth time. This is my fourth time. Yeah. This is my fourth time trying to record this. I shit you not. I've tried to record this 4 times. I've been going on these Charlie Kirk takes over and over again, and for something, I just keep getting interrupted. My hotspot gives off when I'm in the middle of a park. I literally went to a park, paid $3 to enter the park, sat there, set up the laptop, everything. The laptop wouldn't connect to the internet, wouldn't connect to my hotspot. And then I went to another spot. Cousin pulled up. I had to cut the stream. Then I come inside, start recording. Brother-in-law calls me. I had to take that call 4 times. 4 times I've been trying to talk about this. So I want to get straight to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ajay Patel Show. My name is Ajay Patel. We have a lot to talk about. At this point, the content just rains from the sky. The content just rains from the sky. And you know what? As someone that has been saying a thing or two online, maybe it's about a person or two, I just want to say, don't kill me. You know? Like you can comment some hate shit, like cool. I love a good hateful comment. I really do. It means I'm slowly making it. You know what I'm saying? Like when people like your post, it doesn't really give you that little, oh yeah, this is working. It's when people start saying, shut up, boy, you don't know what you're talking. That's when it gets exciting. That's when I call my wife into the room and I say, hey, look at this. We're about to retire. Just don't kill me. Charlie Kirk's murder. Let's get into it. Let's keep it brief since now we're a week off and some new things have come out. Some new things that have come out that I'm just, I don't know how much I believe in the deep state, how much I have to buy into some of this journalism that goes on after things. And I am appreciative, right? Because it's like, y'all should discover the truth because I have no idea if the FBI is telling us the truth, that the government's telling us the truth. Sorry. Let me go back on that. I know for sure they are not telling me the truth. There are some things that I've just given up care about and just been like, you know what? I got to trust them with some things. I can't be so invested that I just am like, oh, you know what? I can't trust anything they say. You gotta go with something. You gotta go with something at some point. So with the death, obviously we saw the horrific thing that happened last week. Now let me go ahead and start off by saying this because I do want to keep this part in whatever number recording I get to. If for some reason your reaction to that horrific death was good, oh, I'm glad it happened, then I need you to understand that you are sick. You're mentally off. And I'm telling you this as a friend. I'm telling you this as a friend where it's like you can still make it back. You know, like you can still make it back. You're going to end up down this path where, you know, in 5 years time, 10 years time, you're going to be like, "Oh shit. I took a wrong turn somewhere. I took a wrong turn somewhere. Maybe it wasn't when the CEO got gunned down on the street, but when it's this white boy that got shot in the neck in front of millions of people and people cheered for it. People got online and cheered for it. I'm telling you, this might be where you're taking a wrong turn. You're a little sick in the head and stay away from me. Stay far away from me. Don't shoot me. Just dislike my videos. Just dislike my videos, please. That's all I ask for you to do is just dislike them. You know, like YouTube doesn't even care about the likes and the dislikes. Have I told you that? Sure, it works for the algorithm. But at the end of the day, if you want to make money, you got to get views. You got to get views. If we have any idea about what's going on in America, I repeat to you, it is a beauty pageant. America always has been a popularity contest. So if your other reaction is, well, what about the school shooting? Well, what about this person's death? Well, what about this that happened to these two Democrat people? You haven't been paying attention to the country you live in. To the country you live in. If you have more followers, you get more attention. This isn't new news. If I go in the next year or so, you know, God forbid, people will be sad. I won't be able to fill up a stadium for my memorial. I won't be able to fill up a stadium. I won't be able to fill up a music hall. I could fill up a small house. You know, I could probably do that. And I hope to get to the point where I can fill up a stadium. Actually, no, I don't. That's a little culty and that's a little weird. Please don't ever. When it's my time, it's my time. But don't fill up an auditorium, or sorry, don't fill up anything bigger than a basic temple hall or whatever that is. America's a popularity contest. Don't you ever forget it. We are in the beauty pageant. So for people, like I said, the reaction of like, oh well, people didn't express any concern. They didn't post on their stories when this school shooting happened, when Gaza happened. It's because they don't have followers. Also, the school shooter didn't have a body cam on him. We got to see this dude's death in HD video from about 10, 12 yards away. It wasn't the best videos. You could kind of tell they didn't have the iPhone 17, but they had a good maybe iPhone 11. And we saw this and it circulated around the web and it became this shock value thing. It became this new Charlie bit my finger thing that we started showing around. Hey, have you, bro, there's no way. I was literally on an airplane ride. People start texting, people start talking about it, murmuring on the plane, yo, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. I said, yo, who is this guy? Who is this guy? I didn't know him by name. I looked up the picture. Oh, this guy. Now, let me start with my thoughts on him personally. I didn't mind the dude. I would normally consume him when I was scrolling through TikTok and I'd see that he was this guy that shows up on college campuses, or sometimes he's part of these like influencer debate videos. And, people go up there, they'll say something, he expresses some other opinion. He brings in all this bullshit that, college kids weren't even fucking alive for, that he wasn't even alive for. But, it is factual stuff. There were some takes I agreed with. There were some takes I did not agree with. Kind of similar to pretty much everyone else in my life. All the stuff that you kind of read online afterwards about, oh, he's this sexist person, he's this racist, he's this big, he's this person. Like, I did not get the same sense of that. I understand if you didn't like him or if he came off as, misogynistic and you didn't want him to be around you and your friends. I get it. I understand. But some of the stuff that's online, man, some of the stuff that y'all are just kind of quoting and putting on y'all story. And people say, well, look, can you show us a statistic? Can you show us an actual footage of it? And then people throw around the same thing over and over again, where it's like, he said if he saw a black pilot, he wouldn't trust the pilot. And then you have to go into the comments and say, well, there's no way he actually said that. And then you see, oh, it was this context of DEI, where, should diversity, equity, inclusion be something that is considered when the job is a life or death situation, when it's an EMT, when it's a firefighter, when it's a pilot? I don't really care if we don't have the best data analysts in the world on the team. We should probably have some diversity. We should be able to probably get people comfortable with other races. Now, later on in the podcast, we're going to talk about how that's probably going to go away, how Diwali probably won't be celebrated that much. But first, I wanted to find this screenshot that I took, because during this rush, everyone's posting on their story. Everyone's kind of talking their shit, just being like, oh yeah, fuck this dude. This dude's the worst. And my big issue with it is kind of just sentiment. I understand as a country, we were someone that celebrated when bin Laden died. And to great extent too, right? People kind of paused stuff, fireworks, this and that. And it was a strange thing, but at the same time, it was like, it was this one entity of evil from another country. So first of all, it was able to market better. And he was this just dude of evil, not just for America, for London, yada, yada. And we spent trillions of dollars to get to the point where we are today, where, no one can afford anything. And that death, people equated that death to this death. Here's a screenshot from posted by a girl that my boy Vishal and I both had a crush on. And I did not see this coming. Charlie Kirk was a white supremacist, a sexist, a homophobe with an active mouthpiece for hatred. He spent his career targeting marginalized students on college campuses, spewing dehumanizing rhetoric under the guise of debate. And while I don't believe in celebrating violence, I also believe in naming cause and effect. You don't get to incite chaos, uplift white supremacy, belittle trans kids and black students, and expect peace to follow you forever. Maybe that's true. Do I agree with it? No. But, it could be a thing where if you are not constantly spreading a positive vibe in life, there's probably some bad things in store for you. Maybe so. Do I have anything to back it up? Not really. I'm trying to keep my thoughts structured here because I don't want to go rambling on, and we got to get to these H-1B visas. But this sentiment of, oh, he was a horrible person and this and that, oh, he hated black people. And then you start seeing People that worked with him in black communities that are black talk about, oh, yo, he did way more for the black community than probably half of these other people. And they're sticking up for him. And then there's a sense of me where it's like, are these guys lying? You know, are they just set up? But what's the reason to lie? So you defend a dead man's name? What benefit do you get? Or maybe it's true. And this dude wasn't the biggest piece of shit. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I'm saying, I was not someone that felt mournful. Do I wish he died? No. No, not really. It's just a bad place. We're just in a really weird place in America right now. It's just a very strange place. We got a dude that got popped in the neck. People are cheering. We got a homeboy that's chopping hotel people's heads off with a machete. And people saying, well, look, it's an illegal immigrant. And it's like, yeah, we that was known. They tried to ship him back to Cuba. Cuba said, hey, no, thank you. He's already chopped off a bunch of heads here. And we said, oh, fuck it. We'll just throw him back out on the streets. Because we have no system to deal with these people. It's not an immigration issue. It's a how do we deal with fucking crazies issue. This environment is just very strange now. This environment has just gotten quite uncomfortable where people close to me are in this mode of like, yeah, fuck it, he's dead. And it's like, yo, bigger picture here. You know, like I wasn't someone that was posting on my story, rest in peace, or, you know, sad about this and that. I hate the language of, well, he was a father and a Christian too. And it's like, okay, yeah, you know, like if you use a weak defense, people are going to come after that and say, well, look, bin Laden was a father and a, you know, like, and it's just like, that's not the point. That's not the point. We got people in this world that think they can take control of what they want with a gun that they have, with a gun that they can acquire very easily, apparently. And that's the issue where people say, you know what, I don't agree with you, off with your head. I don't know, that used to kind of be a time period. I'm kind of enjoying the time period we're in now more than that. And this issue of we can't even agree on the basic fact of, yeah, he probably shouldn't have killed him. Yeah, he might have been this person for white supremacy and homophobia and all this stuff. But was he killing people? Was he actually inciting violence against people? Now, I understand if this happened to homeboy Netanyahu, I get it. I wouldn't be as like, you know, wanting to be outspoken about this because that's someone that's quite literally inciting violence. And obviously, you know, I'm not even going to act like I know a percentage of what's happening over there geopolitically. But coming back home, it's like, hey, I don't want people getting shot in my backyard. I don't want to be going to a concert or going to something where it's like, hey, you know what? I know a handful of people don't like Chris Brown. I don't want to have to be worried about him getting shot on stage because that's where y'all are getting. That's where half of y'all are getting. And I'm telling you, you're on the wrong road right now. And you can still come back. You can still come back. It's not too late. It's so, yes. Was it ironic? Was it ironic homeboy was talking about guns and he got popped by a gun? It's very ironic. Should it have happened to him? No, I don't think so. And that's also not how you teach someone a lesson. You know, you pop them in the leg. You pop their spouse in the arm or something. Have you not seen a movie? The Art of Negotiation, the guy has to be alive to still make the deal. That's half of the movie is hey, you know what, Jason Bourne, I need you to get this guy to buy this boat. Do what you got to do. Jason Bourne's not going to go in there and kill the guy. Huh? I've seen the movies. I could write one, honestly. And this is just the temperament and the environment that I'm just very tired of, right? Like I was on one side of like I don't support killing CEOs cold-blooded in the street. You know, and obviously people were like, oh, well, they're taking healthcare from all these people. And yes, that is a very big issue. But nothing's changed since homeboy died. Oh, a company changed one policy? All right. So what? There's no impact. You got people cheering for this. Oh, you know, he killed this guy that was speaking on hate. And so what? What's the impact? It's just going to get worse. You see the remembrance that the kind of the support he's getting now is stronger than he was probably getting when he was even alive. And they have to do that. And I'm very glad that that's happening, honestly. because there has to be this sense of, hey, when this person dies, we're actually going to celebrate him even more in death than we did in life, to show you that you cannot get away with doing something like this. We had a girl, and this is a little, it's a soft. I mean, it's a sensitive topic, but I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. We had a girl in high school. This was a friend of mine. Killed herself. I know, a little dark, a little strange for a quote unquote comedy podcast. And we wanted to hold a memorial for her at the local YMCA. And they told us, hey, you have to be careful with the number of attendants and how you kind of take pictures and videos of this. Because if people see this, then they will also have it in their mind where, hey, I'm not really receiving much love in life. So I'll probably receive this kind of love in death, this kind of attention in death, this kind of remembrance and people's eyes on me in death. And that was such an eye-opening moment for me, because it's like, what? Well, that sounds crazy. But in reality, it's very true. You people see certain things. And you might be thinking, no, that's so dumb. And it's like, motherfucker, you probably have all your marbles. You probably have all your marbles. The dude that popped Charlie Kirk and then jumped off the roof and cracked his knees didn't have all of his marbles. Now they got a guy in custody. Tony Robinson. Fuck Tony Robinson. Who the fuck is that? Whatever. The guy that they caught. And the worst part about this is the FBI is taking credit. The FBI is taking credit for this capture. And what happened is his dad just snitched on him. And for good reason. This has been an interesting question that you pass around the dinner table. Hey, if you were the parent, what would you do? And thank God that dad snitched on him. Do I think my parents would snitch on me? I don't know. I think my dad would. I don't think my mom would. And I think it's the right thing to do. I think you should snitch. You should turn your killer of a son in. It's not good. It's not great. If your kid crashes somebody's car, that's one thing to defend him. But if he pops this guy in the neck, I don't know. Maybe I don't want him at the next family Thanksgiving. It's a very interesting, I'm so happy that dad turned him in. I hate that the FBI is taking any type of credit for it and then using verbiage like, you see what happens when good cops do their jobs. Like, bro, first of all, once again, with the same thing with the DEI stuff, where it's like, yeah, I don't really care if my officer is black, white, Hispanic. It doesn't really matter. I just want to know, is this a decent person? Is this person going to react in proper time? Is this person not going to just shoot someone because they're scared and they're actually trained with a gun? And they know how to, kind of minimize the situation before it escalates into something. That's all I care about. There can't be such thing as a good and a bad pilot. You can't have a good and a bad cop. That means you're acknowledging that there is a problem in the system. This dude, Akash Patel, has been getting fucking, what's his name? Akash. Why am I forgetting everyone's names today? Who is the FBI director? Whatever. I don't even care, man. I'm not going to pause to find this shit. Oh, man, but it is going to eat me up. So let me just do this real quick. FBI, die. Damn, not even a Google. Kash Patel. Yeah, that motherfucker's name is Akash Patel, bro. Don't tell me your name, Kash Patel. I had a friend named Akash. He tried to go by Cash also. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Kash Patel. Your name ain't Kash Patel. Kash Patel with a K. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. You come from the same descendants as the dude that got his head chopped off. You talking about your name's Kash Patel. You saw that homeboy's name from the hotel, rest in peace. Ramachandra. Do you know what I'm saying? There wasn't no Kash Patel. Akash Patel, FBI director, fucking getting beat up there, having to talk about his accolades of what the FBI has done, which sound kind of good, right? But then they always come back to the, hey, you kind of still have those Epstein files. And then it's just a fucking deer in the headlights. Fucking Kash Patel, my ass, bro. Back to Charlie, and let's wrap this up here. This has gotten bad. I will say, when I was on CNN during the aftermath, kind of just consuming what people were saying, is I actually did enjoy hearing Democrats and Republicans alike talk about this isn't okay. Some of it was a little incentive, like people saying, oh, this guy was this guy was that. And it's like, hey, we don't need to label the dude. right? There isn't. We need to stop with this whole binary. Oh well, he did this, so then he's a Democrat. Oh, he did this, then he's a Republican. It's like no. The binary system changes to right and wrong. The binary system changes to, hey, this guy just committed a crime. This guy just kind of shot somebody. I don't really care who he voted for in the past 4 elections. I don't really care what skin color he is. This just happened. I'm very glad that the side blaming took a pause for a little bit. And it was more of an idea of, hey, look. I know we're talking shit about each other back here, but nobody wants anybody to get popped in the neck like that. Now that, it's very annoying to say, because 98% of the other time they're just up there talking shit about the other side. Oh, the Republicans are the worst thing in the world. The Democrats, oh, they're dumb. They're throwing the country into the ground. And you're fueling these people over and over again. And when I say these people, it's these people with time. It's these people with time working, maybe a little cashier action job. People maybe they lost their corporate job. They don't really know how to bounce back. They're behind on bills. They got nothing but time. You got time. Because everything's so structured for you. After you graduate college and you get, a little 5-figure job, maybe high 5 figures, you start trickling on into the 6s. Maybe now you get into the mid 1s. Oh, now you start seeing 2. You start taking less actions on a lot of political stuff. You don't really go to the rallies. You don't really go to these things to see, oh, well, that's that president. Oh, that's that person. Oh, well. You don't really care. You go see Jay-Z. You go see Beyonce. You go see the GOAT, Chris Breezy, Too Easy. You find you fill yourself with entertainment because you're already taking enough shit in this corporate world. You're already dealing with your own set of politics. You don't want to start overly engaging in all this stuff. You might post a little thing about it on your story. You might talk about it in person and say, hey, you know what? I don't like what Trump's doing. Oh, hey, you know what? I do like what he's doing about this. But you don't start going to these rallies. You don't start thinking, hey, you know what? I'm going to start taking things into my own hands. I'm going to hop on Discord and see if I can get a gun. These are people with time. So that 98% of the time when these Democrats and Republicans are up there just talking shit about the other side, talking mad shit about the other side. And then something like this happens and they say, hey, what are y'all doing out there? It's like, yo, y'all made this happen. Don't blame all of this dude. I understand he may not have been there mentally 100%, but y'all put the fucking thought in his head. Now they got a dude in custody, and there's this stuff coming from so firstly, like the shout out to the dad that put him in custody. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Candace Owens apparently released this photograph of him afterwards at a Dairy Queen, looking very calm, wearing kind of the same stuff. And there's some doubt. That it's like this guy that they have in custody just went to Dairy Queen, just committed probably the biggest murder of 2025. And he's just out there like that again. And so then, all you need is doubt. All you need is doubt. And that's also something where I'm not the biggest fan of this journalism that's happening. Because let's say this guy tries to appeal, goes to court, a jury gets set up, and someone in the jury's like, hey, well, this dude was at Dairy Queen 3 hours later looking very calm, not a nervous bone in his body, just ordering dinner like a regular routine. That introduces doubt from when we already had evidence of this dude sending texts, this dude's dad snitching on him, the gun, whatever it may have been, video footage. Now you go into the text messages where it's like, oh, were these staged? Are these set up? Is the FBI lying to us? Is the FBI so concerned with making sure that they, are helping the public feel safe, that they have the killer off the street, that they're fabricating text messages, fabricating a whole story to get this guy into custody? I don't know. It's believable, right? It's not unfathomable to think, oh, the FBI could be lying to us. What reason does Candace Owens have to lie to us? She's been killing this shit. Oh my goodness. I apologize to ever disrespect this lady. Oh my goodness. She'll find your text messages. I mean, then again, any woman will find your text messages. They just be sniffing that shit out, bro. Boy, don't even play with me. But it does seem like she is very good at her job. It does seem like she does this idea of true journalism, where she's looking at facts. She's going with a lot of these things that these internet sleuths are saying, and then cross-checking them, fact-checking them, making sure, oh, hey, like I checked with my source. I did that. And this is a lady that worked with Charlie Kirk. So I can understand why she has a little bit more skin in the game. A very interesting, not so great time, followed by what we get with the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Yes, indeed. The Jimmy Kimmel situation. Now, first, I want to host a little pop quiz. I want to host a little pop quiz for my boy Jimmy. Can y'all tell me who was the last guest on the Jimmy Kimmel show? Okay. How about any guest he's had in the last week? Okay. Last month. Oh, that's right, because nobody watches this show. Isha went to a live taping in Hollywood. I don't think anyone ever saw that show. Yes, he's very famous. Yes, he does the Oscars. Nobody watches the show. Nobody watches these late night TV shows anymore. And don't get me wrong. I understand I'm sounding very disrespectful. I love late night. When people used to ask me what my dream job was, it was, hey, I would love to have a talk show. I would love to be the Steve Harvey of daytime, the Jimmy Fallon of nighttime. I would love to have a TV show. But let's stop acting like we just lost the biggest TV show on earth. We're acting like Game of Thrones got canceled in the middle of season 4. Why are we acting like everyone was watching this show? Oh, free speech, here we go. Oh my goodness, here we go. I'm a half fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I will say, I used to be a bigger fan, and then it just got a little political heavy, where every episode it was just him trying to do something Trump related. Oh, hey, can you guys see that these red people are idiots? Anyone that isn't blue is dumb. If you didn't vote for Kamala, you're dumb. Your job as a late night talk show host is not this shit. Whatever the fuck this is right now is not your job. I don't understand why, as a talk show host, you would come on and just instantly divide your audience segment in half. The majority of the country voted for this dude. They didn't really care for who you were telling them to vote for. They didn't really care for how much money you had behind her or how much you disliked this guy. They didn't care that Beyonce said it. They didn't care that Taylor Swift said it. Because these people don't like you like that. You're supposed to be a vessel of entertainment for them. You're not their holy grail. You're not their priest. You're not their pastor. Who? You're the late night talk show host. I understand my job when I like anytime I need to go on the mic. I need to pass entertainment. I need to pass some type of entertaining dialogue, discussion. And don't get me wrong, boy, do I know when I'm not. I know when I'm not. But a podcast is a different form. Imagine me going up there to MC a wedding talking about, hey, you remember the Republicans are dumb? Real good opening line, right? Now you compound that over the whole first term. Now you add in the second term. I mean, the second term's been, 9 months? And you have this segment where it's just like, why would we fuck with this guy? We keep turning on the camera. This dude lives in a city that's been burning down to the ground in horrible. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I do want to defend this guy by saying, like, he'll shit on anybody. He'll shit on anybody. He'll shit on the Newsoms of the world, where it's like, yeah, that dude might be blue, but it's just a dumb policy. But it became a little clickbaity to a point where it's like, hey, you know what? I know if I talk about that red stuff, it'll work. I know these blue people will watch the clips online, but people weren't watching the show. Do I think this was a money thing where ABC was just trying to get them off? Disney, I don't even know what entity to blame. I've been hearing like 3, 4, 5 names, and I don't even want to look it up. I don't think so. Is this a free speech issue? I also don't think so. There are 4 or 5, 6 ladies on The View that have been spewing nonsense for the past who knows how long, bro. Who knows how long? We got people that used to be cheetah girls up there talking about, this is what's happening in Gaza, bro. We've heard the crazy takes. Well, then who's going to clean your toilets? We've heard this stuff. They're still on air. They are still on air. Jimmy Kimmel's been doing this for a hot minute. He's been doing many things that kind of maybe get you canceled. A lot of the clips resurfacing now as people say, yeah, you know what, forget him. Get him out of here. Who cares? He's been going up there every night and just kind of cussing people like me out, saying I'm an idiot. Fuck him. Get him out. Who cares? He's done this for so long and they never pulled him. So what's the reason? Okay, you go into like, well, let's blame the money. Let's blame the money. I found this little clip. I'm gonna play it through my mic, and I'm not gonna overlay the thing, but let me pull it up here.
Would agree as well. The argument, though, Link, Trump installed Brendan Carr into the FCC. First things first, Jimmy Kimmel, cancelled rightly, or has he been thrown under the bus unceremoniously?
No, he's been rightly canceled. I don't even know if it's a cancellation. Everybody keeps saying, oh, this is a violation of the First Amendment, a free speech. This isn't a free speech issue. Jimmy Kimmel is an employee of a company. If he had his own show on his own website, and let's say the government silenced him or canceled the website, that's a free speech issue. But here you work for a company, you're supposed to be a comedian, you're not funny, the joke wasn't funny, you are offensive, and you have low ratings, so you're going to be fired. It's sort of like Stephen Colbert, right? He was running a $40 million deficit. He wasn't funny. He wasn't interesting. Guess what? They canceled him. It wasn't about politics. It was about follow the money. You're not doing that well. But what's interesting is that the folks on the left...
First of all, who the fuck is this guy? What news outlets am I getting on my TikTok feed, bro? GB News. Bro, mind your business. Mind your business, okay? You got a tube strike tomorrow that you can't get to work with. I don't think it's a First Amendment issue. Everyone's freaking out about this, talking about the First Amendment, this First Amendment, that. There's a lot of podcasts out there. There's a lot of talk shows out there. There's a lot of stuff out there that no one's been messed with like that. There's nothing to make me believe that there's a domino coming that would kind of hurt what I want to say. Oh, my First Amendment's at risk. I don't feel that at all. Look at me. I'm up here right now talking on a microphone about to post it to YouTube and stuff. Now, it's one thing if YouTube says, hey, you can't talk. But if they have certain guidelines, right? Let's say YouTube says, hey, you can't say the F-bomb. And I come out here, blah, 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 bow, 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 bow. And they take my video down. I can't say, hey, my First Amendment. This dude, Jimmy Kimmel, works for an entity. It's not his show. It might have his name on it. He doesn't own it. Look, they pulled his ass off the air in a heartbeat. He doesn't own it. So if you're going up there hurting the money over and over again, whether it's through Disney lens, through the ABC lens, it doesn't matter. Of course they're going to pull your ass. What are you talking about? Is it right or wrong? Who cares? Money's money, bro. I don't care if you're right-winged or left-winged. If you're hurting the pockets of everyone around us, you have to stop. You have to stop. And especially if we've told you, and boy, do we know if that boy's stubborn. Let me tell y'all something as a quick tangent. Men are stubborn. Men are stubborn. The older we get, the more stubborn we get. And it's just that true. You can mold a man very easily in the young 20s, in the teenage years. It's very easy to change their trajectory. After a certain age, boy, it's a very hard time to get in here. And does it take some reprogramming? Even myself, on the road that I went with to get from me being this boyfriend to me being to let's say to a husband to, okay, now this person's agreeing to have a child with me. That's a lot of shit that changes up here. It's a lot of behaviors that changes. It's all the ways of talking that change. A lot of things change. You have to. It's just what happens. I'm not saying ladies don't change. I'm saying that they're more willing to change than how fucking stubborn dudes are. Jimmy Kimmel stubborn ass. He probably wasn't listening to what he was told. I still don't know if he said anything. Now let's go into the Candace Owens conspiracy bag. Today, the day that this episode releases, will be Tuesday, September 23rd. He's back on air tonight. He comes back on air Tuesday night. They did whatever negotiations. They'll figure out some apology, and it will be the most watched thing in the world. So if you have this depreciating asset and all of a sudden you twist this script of pulling this very beloved figure and you have all these people, oh my gosh, the First Amendment, people canceling their Hulu subscriptions. People don't want to watch Only Murderers in the Building. People don't want to watch anything Marvel anymore. People don't want to watch whatever those fools were doing screaming in the kitchen. Chef show. What was it called? The Bear. Nobody wants to watch that anymore. Everyone's canceling their subscriptions. Boom, bring back Jimmy Kimmel. Hey, you know what? We're going to air one episode Tuesday night. We're going to have you just do your monologue, have a guest, and it'll be the biggest thing in the world. And here's another twist. The guest will be Donald Trump. You can't beat that. That's my conspiracy. Is that they did this to just put him back on. They knew they've seen what the uproar the internet will go into for their beloved, for their precious. I don't want to kind of just be like, hey, well, what about when Trump got pulled off of Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all that stuff? Because it's a different idea, right? Remember, we talked about intent. We talked about influence. This dude Trump could have said anything. People were going out there and doing it. It gets a little scary at that point. You kind of do want people to put this guy, a little bit behind a wall to some extent. Then you get these platforms like Truth Social. They'll always get out. The internet's a free space, bro. Very good. Good luck to you trying to keep someone off of it. I'm not the biggest fan of him getting pulled for saying something as weak as he did. But at the same time, it was a bad joke. And it probably did go against some types of instructions that he was given. Is that an assumption? Yes, it is. But look at the joke. Oh, hey, the MAGA gang. Boom. Right there. You voted for red. You're part of this MAGA gang. You're calling the side MAGA gang while you're talking about a dude that shot someone in the throat and killed him. Oh, like they're trying to make sure that they discredit any reason that they could be one of his own. Let me tell y'all something. You can go out and hang out with me and say you're a vegetarian all night long. You can say you're a vegetarian all night long. But then when dinner comes around, you say, hey, yeah, can I get a chicken sandwich? Or can I get a steak? Can I get some pork rinds? Guess what? You're not a vegetarian. Oh, yeah, well, I just eat meat on Tuesdays. You're not a vegetarian. You can't just be fluid in and out like that. You either eat meat or you don't eat meat. Now let's do it with the right and blue people. It doesn't matter how much you say you're a Democrat. If you go out there and pop the dude that is very helpful to the red side, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican. If you go out there and pop the comrade that has helped get a bunch of young voters on their side, guess what side you're on? It doesn't matter what color flag you have on. It's the actions that supersede that. You're not a vegetarian. The same way I tell people, they're like, oh, do you eat beef? And it's like, I don't really know how to explain it. I'm not against it. It's not that I don't eat beef. I don't order beef. But I know pepperoni isn't all the time just pork. Sometimes if my boy Arjun gets a burger, I might take a bite. I'm not going to say I don't eat beef. I'm not saying I'm a good Hindu. But imagine giving that long ass answer at dinner. Who cares about the Jimmy Kimmel show, bro? Who cares? I'm done with the old guard. I don't care. I would love to meet him. Don't get me wrong. But at this age that I'm at, fuck it. Whatever. Bring back Tyra Banks. We could use a nice black woman doing late night. Who cares, bro? Fuck Kimmel. Fallon, I still want to meet. All right, now let's move on to our last story, which is something that is quite a big deal. As someone that is South Asian and works in tech with a lot of other South Asians, this H-1B visa rule, which goes into effect, I believe it went into effect last Saturday. I'm going to read it out exactly what it is and then who exactly it affects, because I think that's been a big thing that's been kind of been confused here and there. Okay. On September 19, 2025, Trump signed a proclamation imposing a $100,000 fee on new H-1B visa petitions. The fee is one time, applied when the employer files a new petition for an H-1B worker who is outside the U.S. and after a specified effective date. Effective 12:01 Eastern Daylight Time on September 21st, so that's already passed. So that was Saturday. Oh, that was Sunday. Shit. Oh, Saturday night. Okay, yeah, I see. Any new petitions submitted after that must include the $100,000 payment. It does not apply to current H-1B visa holders or to renewal petitions or to petitions filed before that date. There are also provisions for exemptions. The Secretary of Homeland Security may exempt certain petitions if determined to be in national interest or not harmful to U.S. welfare security. Who is affected immediately? People filing for new H-1B petitions. Prospective H-1B applicants who are abroad. Oh, shit. Okay. So this is applicants who employer will file after the effective date. They or their employer must prepare for the cost. Companies that frequently sponsor these things, there was confusion around travel and reentry. However, these are not immediately affected. H-1B holders who already have valid status, renewal of existing H-1B status, so far exempt. Okay. So similar to what I was kind of consuming online earlier was if they're already an H-1B visa holder, you're not affected. If you've already put in your petition for renewal, you are not affected. This is mainly for net new visas. So the cost increase, they added $100,000 per overseas sponsor. H-1B is a large expense. Undertaking even a few such hires a year could become very costly. Shift in hiring strategies, possible reduction in H-1B petitions, competition disadvantages. Yeah, see how faithfully courts uphold this proclamation. Legal challenges are likely. Yeah. I guess no more Diwali parties, and that's kind of sucks. You know, like how I think the way America has been able to go how far it has with a lot of their tech companies is these visas. 100%. I haven't looked up the statistics behind it, but it has to be true. Whether you're an Uber, whether you're an Amazon, any tech company, Meta, yada yada. The exploitation of my people has made a lot of people rich and has made my people very rich. Why work for the rupees on the dollar when you can come here and make a $300,000 salary being a software engineer? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And I didn't always understand why I would have to put like I am a U.S. citizen on my resume until I started learning a lot more about the H-1B visa stuff, where it costs these companies to be able to sponsor you. So it's something that they look for. Okay, is the juice worth the squeeze? Are we going to, if we put in 10K, if we put in 100K now into this person, is the return going to be worth it? Am I going to get, the AI program, the AI agentic model that I want behind this? Am I going to get the dashboard that, can refresh itself and then tell me when, certain machines are going to fail or certain things are going to go out of stock or when the website goes down? Well, you have a strategy to that. And now with this, it just becomes, do you risk the idea of being behind the curve? So let's say China doesn't do it because China probably already has their own superpower, but India starts creating even more advanced startups. So where it's just going to get to the point where some type of US company is going to buy that afterwards to say, hey, you know what, we're going to take all your software, we're going to take your back end, we're going to take all your structure, all that stuff. We're going to take everything but the people for $1 billion because you built this superpower over there. And we have to do that because we can't grow it over here anymore. We can't build it over here anymore. It's very interesting to see what, obviously, like, let's go back a couple steps where it's what's the point of this? It's so people have to hire in-house. People have to hire people within the United States, which is very interesting because from what I know, the job market is tough. I will say one thing I thought that was competition when I was applying for jobs was anytime you would hop on LinkedIn and you apply to something, you would always see over 100 people have applied to this job. And that's probably just because of India. That's probably just because of everyone saying, oh, I would love this opportunity. I love this opportunity. I love this opportunity. That's because we had 1 billion motherfucking software engineers over there. Not a software engineers. We have 1 billion computers, bro. These people are literally computers. They can do data analytics. They can do software engineering. You want them to be a PM, they can kick your ass at that too. They'll do fucking anything, bro. They'll do anything that's on a keyboard and a mouse, and they'll do it with pride. They'll do it with pride. They won't say anything. They'll say, how much will you give me? $10 an hour? Yep, done. I'll do it. They'll do it in a heartbeat. They won't even ask for money up front. They won't ask for food. They won't ask for water. They won't ask for anything. They'll just do the job. They're just computers. That's all. That's what they are. So how do you deal with that on the other side? How does it, when it goes away, what do you do? When you're applying to jobs now, are we going to see the same kind of flood come into LinkedIn job posts? Are we going to expect companies to now start putting, hey, we won't pay this 100K visa fee because we have to hire in-house now to afford this position? A lot of these people that end up hiring these people from India can't afford the visa thing anyways. And no one's going to roll the dice on some random person from India and then put this. It's going to come with a bunch of clauses where it's like, hey, if we're going to pay for your H-1B visa, you have to stay with us for 5 years, or you have to produce some type of output. And if you don't, then you have to pay us that back. This is just going to end up in a bunch of lawsuits. It's going to end up in so many companies just figuring out some way around it. And now I saw that these new visitors from a handful of countries are going to have to pay $250 to enter. Bro, what? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do want to, as someone that has come on here and has publicly put, like, oh, hell no, I was never going to vote for Kamala. I did think about it. Remember, even on this podcast, we've talked about it. But what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just too much. There's too much throwing shit at the wall. There's too much, oh, I think this will work. If we just bump this cost up, oh, if we just bump this tariff up, if we just bump all of these costs up, then we'll, maybe defeat the national, the nation deficit. Oh, we'll get more money in people's pockets. We'll get more people hired locally. And I do think that will work. I do think these things work. I mean, like, if you want to visit the United States, now you got to think twice. Do you have the extra $500 for a family of 2 to come do that? Are you ready to pay that money? Where does that money go? Does it fund airports? Are we going to have nicer airports now? Do we have safer planes now? Well, what is it? What is this money used for? I don't think you're going to pay off the $1 trillion thing with that. All of these H-1B visas, $100,000. What are y'all doing with this shit, bro? We don't like y'all. We don't trust y'all. Akash Patel, we don't know you like that. What? I just wish I could see the transparency. I wish I could see the bigger picture, not even the bigger picture, the smaller pictures within this to say, well, that's why they're doing this. Oh, okay, that's going to do this. And there maybe there's nothing. Maybe this is literally a madman going crazy, right? I don't know. I do understand. I do think firms have been exploiting my people plenty. And when I say exploiting, it's a positive exploitation. My people are very happy to do it. But now what? Are we going to kind of just drop the idea of we need software engineers? What does this shift to? Does this shift to now more people are just kind of using AI? Here's the biggest thing about AI that people kind of misconstrued is like, oh, AI can write the code anyways. Bro, you have to have someone that knows what the code means. It doesn't matter if you know how to write code or not. You have to know what this stuff means. And the person that knows more code than you can build an AI, whatever, faster than you because they can read what's being put out. If I go in there right now, I don't know code like that. I say, hey, give me code to build an application. It gives me code. I don't exactly know what it does. It doesn't matter if I copy and paste it and it works. If I don't know what it actually does, then it doesn't matter. So now are we okay with taking this disadvantage? Are we okay with taking the step back to say, hey, you know what? We can't hire cheaper and more probably talented. And yes, it is probably an assumption that these people are more talented. It's kind of a strong assumption. You should see some of the bad boys I used to work with. Ooh, they were good, bro. They're good. And the next race that follows that is just some Asian brothers. This is not just Indian people that this affects. Please understand that. This is mainly, I do see this being a tech problem. But what does this lead to? I don't know. But hey, man, happy Diwali. That's coming up. Navratri started tonight. Make sure y'all get your Garba outfits out there. I'll be going to the one in Dallas this Saturday. Yes, indeed. If you want to go, run around in a circle a couple times with me and my fam, just hit me up. Let's do it. I'll be in Dallas. Next week, I do want to make a quick announcement. Next week, which is September 30th. Actually, I'll do it on the 29th. September 29th, I have an episode with a return guest, Atit Amin. He is a wedding photographer, videographer. He reached out and said, yo, let's do it again. I said, I'm very down. I went to his house this time, and we actually got to film a nice kind of longer episode than usual about the wedding industry versus the people of the wedding. So bride and groom like myself, but I'm not the bride and groom, but like the couple themselves, being a person in the wedding party that has had to deal with annoying wedding planners, annoying, photo, video people. What's another worst person that you can deal with? MCs. Oh my gosh, bro, aren't they the worst? So we had a really good discussion about kind of some of the point of views of both sides and just kind of diving into that a little bit. So definitely catch that episode next week. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe on this episode. I apologize once again for missing last week. I hope you guys have a lovely week. I do once again want to push that message of, hey man, just try to love one another. If you disagree with them, I'm telling you, just have a drink with them. Don't listen to this new generation of no drinking and all that stuff. And, I should really focus on my health. Relax. We're all here to have a good time. We really actually don't have that much of an impact. We don't. Ask not what you can do for your people. Ask what your people can ask. Fuck. You know what? Just like each other. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys next week, and goodbye.